So I'm going to try something new today. I'm going to put my devotional thoughts online in video form, and maybe we'll see who comments back on it. Today I'm looking at Matthew 19, verse 16, and then some after that. Now a man came up to Jesus and asked, "Teacher, what good thing must I do to get eternal life?" "Why do you ask me about what is good?" Jesus replied. "There is only one who is good. If you want to enter life, obey the commandments." "Which ones?" the man inquired. Jesus replied, "Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not give false testimony. Honor your father and mother, and love your neighbor as yourself." "All these I have kept," the young man said. "What do I still lack?" Jesus answered, "If you want to be perfect, go, sell your possessions, and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come follow me." When the young man heard this, he went away sad because he had great wealth. This is one of those scriptures that I've read a million times. And we did it last night in our small group. We studied it and we looked at it and we kind of dissected it and asked some questions about it. The first question that we asked about was the first question that he said, and it was, "What good thing must I do to get eternal life?" And it just shows kind of, in my mind, the human thinking behind salvation and behind what we consider to be eternal life, where we still have an idea of the things that we must do. And I think we got to cut this guy a little bit of slack because he was living under the Old Testament law where there were sacrifices and there were things like that going on. So we got to cut him a little bit of slack. But I mean, how often today do we still kind of think that there's stuff that we have to do or be in order to obtain salvation from God? So Jesus obliges him with an Old Testament answer. Don't murder, don't commit adultery, don't steal, all that stuff. And then the guy has another question. He says, "All these I've kept," the young man said. "What do I still lack?" And I think it's interesting that if he has kept all those things, why does he feel like there's something that he still lacks? And I think the answer is that when we're faced with Jesus, we realize that the bare minimum is not enough anymore. That doing the baseline stuff for God is not really enough. It's not where we exactly need to be with what we're doing with our life. We have to move past that stuff. I mean, don't murder, don't commit adultery, don't steal, don't lie, honor your father and mother. I mean, those things are pretty easy commands to keep. But the command that the guy had so much trouble keeping was to get rid of the things that hold on to his heart that keep him from God. And that thing for this guy was money. But what he wanted to do was anything that he could do that wouldn't require a sacrifice from his heart. And so for me, I wonder, what are the things in my life that I need to give up, that I need to go past baseline Christianity for? Don't lie or cheat or steal or step out on your wife or anything like that. Be respectful. Some of that stuff's baseline Christianity stuff, stuff that we're just kind of expected to do and expected to listen to. But then we look at what Jesus says here. It's a matter of this guy's heart. It's a matter of the things that he has to do, or in the things that he has to give up in order to have a heart that's actually for God. Because from this passage we kind of see that you can't follow God effectively if your heart is tied into something else, if your heart is bound by something else. And that's absolutely what happened with this guy. His heart was bound by what he was doing, and not what he could actually give to sacrifice for the good of other people. It turns out that he's really only interested in doing the baseline stuff. So for me, I want to know what it is in my heart that I need to kind of give up or sell or do or trade so that I can be closer to God, so that I can actually be a follower of God. So I'm not sure about that. So my prayer today is that God would reveal that to me, that God would show me the ways in which I need to sell my possessions and give them to the poor, or whatever it might be in my own life. So God, I'm asking that be what you do for me today, and what you help me to realize and understand today.